Hello and welcome again to Steve's Long Stay Workshop, where things come to looked at for various reasons. This came from a dude this weekend actually, down south. So it cost me the princely sum of £1. It's an R.G.D radio, which is long wave, medium wave and VHF, which means it's still usable after FM is okay, but AM goes away. It's a model FM34, and it seems to be, seems to be okay. Dirty, but okay. Now, with sets like this is a basic 3-wave band radio that that get these fairly cheap and from various mates, and they're all the same. Well, not the same, but all as if all the same set of valves mostly and things like that. There are one or two that don't, but I think that this is not one of those. So we'll see. So first thing we do is take the back off, which I'm doing right now. With the back off, have a look round and see what's going on inside, amid all the dust and grime and grot that's in there, because this, now dust and dirt in a circuit like this after all these years, it's a good thing. It means that this hasn't been worked on for a long time, if ever. So this might be good for that reason alone. So yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Valve missing. There's a valve missing there. Yeah. Well, we'll find out what that is, and we'll put something in its place. That's the first thing, is to find out what valve that is. Which you can either look up the manual and the parts and stuff, or if you know what you're doing, which I do for these days, there will come many radios of the same era. They're always the same sorts of valves, so you can actually look out from that what it should be, which is a handy thing to be able to do. I notice it's between the two RF coils, so it's probably going to be an IF amp, say a U or EF something or other. 8.9 is the usual one for that, or if you're desperate, 8.0 will do if it's got loads of UF valves, so there's no problem there. It's collecting rubbish like there's no tomorrow back of it. It's not actually being used for anything, so why that one is missing, I don't really know. But at some point we'll find out, of course, because we always do, don't we? I think we don't do it as well. No, see, this one here. Okay, this one actually is one of those where the back actually comes off and takes underneath with it, which is quite handy because you might not need to take the whole thing apart. So we'll find out at some stage, I'm sure. Oh, it's there. I can see it. It's there. It's fallen down there. That's interesting. And they are U series valves, which means it's probably going to be something like I think probably a UF89, based on previous experience. So get this out. That's a valve, which is a UF89. which I'll put in one place where it's probably going to want to be, which is here. Not been a long time about socket, but there you go. I'll put it back in. Like that, and we'll have a little look inside. As you can see, I'll turn it round. As you can see there, it's got a fair amount of dust in it, so it's been used. It's given somebody a lot of pleasure actually, but it's not at its best now, because this particular unit has the U series valves. It will also have somewhere a dropper unit, a dropper in here for the valves. Where it is normally comes up, but doesn't do here. So I don't know why. But yeah. Anyway, before we plug it in, let's make a few little checks, shall we? Because I like to at least be seen to be doing the right thing. So let's see, nothing. Switch it on there. It's still saying nothing. Okay, about there. Oh, okay. We're just doing that. And now after that, it's now coming up with a value. So it's the switch was obviously just past its best. $18K. Okay, well that's might be a bit much that, but we'll find it at some stage anyway. So that's that. Next thing, by the way, these cables, these are actually illegal to have on these sort of sets now. So it has to. So at some point, it does actually have to be changed. But for now, I'm just going to find out which is. Okay, so that one goes to deck. Okay, so now we know which is which. I'll connect it up to the safe block, and we'll see then exactly what which one is which here, because you know, I think it's this one. I'll just check. Always, but don't be too nervous about checking to make sure every time. Just don't, okay? Because there's no real need to, you know. So this goes in here like that. Now the negative side of it, 0, 0, neutral. Yeah. The other end goes to live. That's the way it is. That's the way. The worst sets back in the day used to switch in the neutral line only. Don't do that. Just don't. Because in that situation, even with the set plugged in and switched off, so it's off the front here, the set will still be live inside, potentially at 240 volts, which is not good at all. So also, by the way, it might come on, it might work. If it does, that doesn't mean that any stretch of imagination that's going to be all right. It isn't, because the capacities in this are rather old, obviously because the radio itself is old, and there's certain types of capacitor, which probably are in here actually, which need to be changed on site, so you must change them all on site. Very, very important. I'm not talking about CCTP or anything like that, you know, but certain ones do have to be changed. One in particular has to be changed because it lights. Bulb light up, okay. Bulbs all appear to be lighting up. Seems to be it. Doesn't seem to be doing much else, does it? Well, that's doing out. Okay. That's not getting hot. By the way, people do say very careful with electricity and live radios. If you do things right and you touch all the stuff that can be touched, then there will not be a problem. Okay. Okay, where does that come from? Just came out of this, you know, it's a it's come off something that obviously. Right, okay. I don't know where that comes from, but it must go somewhere important, otherwise problems will be had. Yeah, let's see, but this says here anything? Doesn't appear to, no. Okay, not to worry. This is problems like this are all very common, and if a radio doesn't have problems, then and are interesting, quite frankly. But there you go. It goes there. Okay, fine. It goes into there. Right. And it was doing nothing at all anyway, so that's why. Bit difficult to do with one hand, this, but it has to be done, and so you do it. Simple as that. Has to be done, so you do it. there's no point changing wire just yet, because I don't know what we're going to find with this set when it's working. So that's the first thing we need to do. For the moment, the only difference is there's no black and red or blue and brown. So that's not something which which we worry about at this stage. One job which I only know one radio restorer who likes doing, and that is restringing of radio dials. I don't bet you, but if a radio comes up and that's faulty, I'm put off it straight away. I know that there's some who aren't, but well, I am. It's just the way it is. Right, it's back on. Let's see what happens now, shall we? As soon as the ULA warms up, let's see what we get. Like keeping the circuit, but lighten up this one. I might put it back in again. There we go, and see what that's like now. Okay. This will get a lot. That should get a lot hotter than that. To get a lot hotter than that. But if I pull it out, everything goes out. So obviously, that valve probably is no longer worth our time. But I'll do a few checks to make sure before we do anything else. As a dating about 40 volts though, so anyway, interesting. Now, with these valves, the heaters go between pins 4 and 5 on all of them, and this one doesn't appear to have that. Oh, I don't know if it does or not actually. 70, yeah, it does, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to do a lot with it. So I'll give it one last go to make sure it's all right. One last go. Oh, the lights are up. The lights are up anyway. So Yeah, okay. It looks very much to me. So that valve is dead. So we'll put it over there for now, and I'll find another one for it in a minute. But first of all, I'm going to put this thing on its end like that, and have a good look under here and see if there's any interesting things here which we need to consider. This radio has obviously been used a lot in its time, and it has been worked on before, so looks okay, but we don't know. So yeah. Okay, again, so that's okay. So we know that the LT is okay and the AC is okay. If I was to put that valve in again, which I'm not going to do, that's it. I say I might actually just to see what. Just to see if the HDC is okay, that powers all the valves, because even with this not doing a right lot, it should light up the heat. It should light up. Well, should cause all the other pieces to light up. So we should be able to see now on here. Yeah, that's there okay, yeah. I'm coming round here. We shall get that's one. So it's okay on both those pins, okay, fine, but nowhere else, because of course that valve is not doing anything with it. So we know from that little test that the HT on the DC side is okay. So I'll get one of those from somewhere and we'll put it in and we'll see what it does. There don't seem to be any anything that will put it out of action, I don't think. What I've done there proves that HTAC is okay, HTDC is okay, and with it being on this valve, also the primary of this is okay, and probably the secondary as well, although 100%. If it comes to life and works, we know that secondary is okay as well. So I'll need to go and find another one of those. I must admit actually on this score that the system on the U series valves it's not the problem that many people think it is. People talk about putting around in the back of a working radio when it's working. Anybody who does that, they don't know what they're doing. Well, natural selection. And actually, in a way, it's better, because if a transformer fails, you've got to get a new one. With these resistors, which can be replaced even by diodes or dropper capacitors, so you can in fact find it a lot easier to work on than the transformer sets. So you know, it's a bonus it's wrong, you know, but my view is that they should actually think more closely about that than the other. So in it goes. In it goes. We're going to wear my glasses these days, of course, you know. That seems to lost his vacuum, actually, that. Looks a lot, that one, so that can go, and this one can go in its place. See what it's Right, well, let's see what happens now, shall we? Does that one light up? The bulbs are a bit dim, I notice, in the front there. They're coming up, they're coming up. Aha!
So the winner of the 2023 BBC National Short Story Award is...
We have a goer. We have a goer, people. We have a goer.
23 BBC.
Now, just because the set does appear to be working doesn't mean it is. You see, the UL84, of course, grid 1, which is the one which feeds the audio to the pentode in here, needs to be at 0 volts. It needs to have AC on it, I audio, and not DC at all. Now, some valves cope with this better than others do it, and UL84 do cope with it better than, say, certain other valves I could mention. But yes, it's working. But having said that, will it continue to work after I've well, put it like this. Right, so grid 1 is pin 2. I'll put that so you can see there, yeah? And that is this one here, 5 volts.
The leading pediatrician has told the BBC that the public health message that vapes are 95% safer than smoking has backfired, encouraging some children to vape. The statement has been used in public.
So from there
when e-cigarettes were suggested as a way
to there, that is, it might be the valve, but I very much doubt it, because that valve came from a set which I knew was fine. But even if that is the case, there's one capacitor in here which must be replaced. Very important. Even if you don't go, like me, you don't go into the change every capacitor inside mentality, this one has to be changed. Because it doesn't, the UL84 in this case will be driven really hard, and that could fail again. And also, so could the 8-put transformer. So, you know, a few pence a capacitor or 12 and 8-put transformer, which would you rather spend your money on? I know which one I spend my money on. So that has to be replaced. has to be. Okay. This set, by the way, is the RGD FM34 is the same as the Regentone R10 and an R.G.D model R57 as well. So basically, they all have the same chassis, in which is this here. So you know, I found it. Now, when you're looking for that capacitor, you know, the one we want to change, it always goes off the anode of the previous trial beforehand, which in this case part of the UABC 80. So what you do, go onto your anode, and of course from there we know that that way the resistor, okay with that, and this way goes to there, and there is the capacity we need to change. So it's this one here. So I'll change that, even though it's one of these buster ones that have been changed before. You know, it only carries 60 volts on this because of the resistor, but I'll change it anyway, just for just because it's the right thing to do. But you know, it's something which you always check on anything like this without fail. So I'll do that. And also, other things that can cause problems with this is if you look at the circuit board underneath here, like that. I'll turn it around so you can see. Like that, you see. They've got this black stuff here. Now, what I do in this situation is I scrape some of it away around the grid 1. Like that. Just scrape some away, because that can go conductive. When it does, you know, it isn't a very clever thing to do. So we don't. Okay, so that's now been cleared around there a bit. So now, if we put in these two valves again, we might be able to get radio 4 without any distortion. We didn't have any before, so you know, it's you know. Anyway, turn the set round again, like that, and put these two valves back in. If we can. That's one. You can see UL84, and this is the UABC 80, which actually 3 diodes are trialed in one case. It does a lot, this valve. They don't fail all that often, but they do sometimes, and quite often what happens is the only part that work because one of the diodes heaters inside here fails, and you don't get everything working as a result. So they do fail, not that often, but they do, and I have had that before. So always think about things like that, because you know they do occur. There we go, that's in. Right, so go. That's it up, okay, right. So let's see what it feels like doing for us now. Wait for it to warm up, of course. Coming up slowly but surely. doing some, but it's not playing, is it? Quite often, with radios of this kind, you associate one problem to be met with another one. Something that you've done, something that has happened, you know, it varies. And yes, man-made faults, as people call them, do occur. So you have to think very carefully about what you do and why, you know. So that goes to there. Okay, so that goes on to there like that and holds it. Thank you very much. And we now go and follow. That's okay. That's okay, fine, okay, that's doing something, okay, fine, so it's not there, I don't think. Next thing we do is check voltages. Always check voltages if you're fault finding. That's
The word on every politician's lips, the sovereign virtue at the heart of almost every issue, argument or campaign. Freedom will be the winner in Ukraine, President Zelensky declared at the weekend. It was freedom that was at stake for them and for us, he said. The upcoming American presidential election is already a signing match between candidates.
so what's causing that hum? Well, I know for a fact that this light here does cause interference, so I'll just knock it off. On that, okay.
To Isaiah Berlin have long distinguished between constraints, official and otherwise, and freedom to do what you want, or at least are able to do. Libertarian.
That's medium wave.
City one, and up to date elsewhere in the other scores. Here is Phillips, gives it away. Target plays it forward.
Right. The other thing I've noticed with this actually is that the VHF doesn't appear to do much, and which is fine, you know, these things do happen, but there appears to be an incorrect valve in there, so and that's either 5 Live or Talk Sport.
Spins away from puts the front hold on, but it counts. Tomacic now has it midway through.
Okay.
Shirts and white shorts. They all play to body up, and then Tomacic opens it up towards that far side. Okay, keep the ball in play. Really now raise it off. Tomacic inside. Phillips, a nice fluency now. Manchester City leads open 5 minutes. Going through the
I'll try the old meter trick.
Cut it away.
Ah. I've noticed with this actually is that the VHF valve is not right. In these it should be a UCC85, and it is in fact a PCC 8. That's 4, is it? Yeah, PCC84. So that is the wrong valve to go in there, which is probably why it's not working. So I'll have to go and find one of those now. This set has now had a new valve in the VHF side of it. The valve that should be in there, like I said, is the UCC85. The one that was in it was a PCC84, which is a TV valve, so of course it didn't work. Anyway, let's see if we find it, shall we? Because, well, let's find out if it does, shall we? So now, of course, the valve reading should be right as well, so it should come up a little bit quicker, I hope. But the heating has have been overrun, so it's possible that these two valves might be a little bit worse for wear, but we'll see. So it's on, and we'll wait, and we'll see. Aha. There you'll follow with that. And put a suitable implement in the end there to give it an aerial. There you are, that's radio 4. Okay. Now going on to medium wave. We should get something on medium wave as well, so we'll just see.
And Ludwig Urban, who will on full floor with lap.
Seems to be a little bit less than it should be, that, but we'll find out at some stage on that. And long wave, along with no VHF.
Knew that I wanted to be an actor. My teacher at St Matthew's High School in Moston, Vicky O'Brien, she was my drama teacher.
Just say benefit, you know, I feel I'm always very nice.
Yeah. And when you took on that role after Richard Harris died, did you know Harry Potter? Did you have to read the books? Did you have to kind of immerse yourself in that world?
I didn't know it at all. No, I just jumped in the water. I just turned it.
Radio 3. Right, now then. This set might require realignment. I say that because I noticed that on BHF here, radio 2 minutes, that don't move along the dial. So but before it before I do that, The first thing we look at is the position of the dial. I know it sounds silly, but sometimes something as simple as dial position can be wrong. So if I put the set where I can see properly, the dial is not where it should be. So it goes along a bit, and hopefully that will put radio 2 back where radio 2 should be. If we get to it. Bit more, there we are. That's a bit more. A bit more like it, I think. I knew it because, of course, not quite like that. Okay.
This is where it's at. Joe Wiley, Radio 2. Never get to bed.
Okay, well, that might or might not be a problem. I just put it the right way up so that it'll, so I can read the dial properly. There we are, that's the set back where it should be on the bench, the right way around. There's some sort of playing outside. I can just hear it. So interesting to say the least. Now on the back here, there are in fact aerials for AM and FM. So, but obviously with the back on, I can't do any lammer that needs to be done. So we put the test aerial, my meter probe, back in, and let it warm up again and see what it's like now. Right, let's go. Now, on British sets of this kind, the dial lights go up and down and then back up again as it warms up. It's something to watch for there. Not quite right, that. So is it? We'll go to the end and find out if we can. Well, I'm at the top end here. That should be radio 1. I'll wait for it to and then switch on that if I can stand that. It's also quite low.
One night with.
Wanna fuck with me? It's turning up 800 degree. Whole thing, chef cause she's a treat. She's so bougie, on appetite. I'm a savage.
If I must. Anyway.
Somebody got a printer in private on his
Yeah. That is a bit out of alignment, that. So somebody has been twiddling. Somebody has been twiddling with this, and so therefore it's time to get this thing set up for realignment. So that's the next thing we have to do. So realignments on a set like this, they're all done in the same sort of a way. All done in the same sort of a way. But the book is here, so we'll and so I'll have a quick look through, Anna, and first of all, IF before RF, IF before RF, okay, and AM before FM as well. So it's all you know, in a way, alphabetical order. So on the AM side, what you do is you inject a 4.740 signal and tune for maximum on the IFs, okay? On the FM side of it, I've not got a wobulator, so I basically just tune everything for maximum smoke. And then of course 87 megs into a socket, and just TC2 and TC1 here for maximum reading. And then up to 100 to check calibration. That is where the problem might well be, actually. So yeah. Anyway, so I'll get set up and we'll start doing some alignment or some twiddling at any rate. Never, by the way, never just twiddle. Never just twiddle for the sake of it. Always know what you're doing, and if the book's handy, follow it, because these are manufacturing instructions from back in the day for this radio. So you know, this is what you need here. These books, by the way, are the Hawker books, Radio and Television Servicing. Get them many places. There's lots of copies knocking about. They're well worth having. They're well worth having. Right, well at this stage now, I have got the serial generator hooked up to the antenna basically. It'll do there, you know. So have a look and see what and why and how and that, you know, because that's what we need to know. Anyway, sets like this, it tells you to reset the 4 for AM here and leave for yet the 2 FMs alone, which is simple enough, but they're not there. You turn it round slightly, which is what I'm going to do now. There are in the board here some holes, and those holes are for 2 of the trimmers that you need to do. Now, also in a situation like this, this doesn't tell us which are which, so I'm going to switch the signal generator on and set it so it's only, it's about 470. Okay, that'll do, yeah. And then go down to the mush. That is to top the AGC and that from locking it down it well. This doesn't look too bad actually. So now we need to find out which are which here. So get a screwdriver or something. Hopefully one will fit down the hole. That'll do. Okay. And then the next thing we do is adjust L19, L18, L15 and L14, all for maximum output. Okay, all for maximum output. So I get my little tweaker and we'll tweak away. Well, here now I've got it set up to regulate 470 on there, and of course here as well. So we'll find out which are which here, like that. Okay. And then we look underneath and find out which ones as well. These are pretty much spot on actually, these, which is quite rare, but obviously not too much to worry about. Now on FM the same applies, but that is an AM generator, so it's a little bit different, but not much. Basically I just do the same, I just tune for matching them. But the FM on this needs to be alright as well, so I'll leave that for now and check the RF, which is okay, right. So now, if I turn the signal generator off, like that, and see what we get. We go to the AM socket here. And again, listen for the AM signal, the FM signal. And it's quite good actually for Radio 3, but now of course we've got to look and find out how to do the AM side of it as well. So we go to 87 megahertz and squirt that in and see where it comes out. So again, goes to signal generator and switch to 8.7 megs. And there we are, that's one side of the band nicely sorted out. So if we go to the other half now, and go up to 100 megahertz on there and see what we get.
For this group, they'll go on all about the best music in the world, and we are not.
Okay, right, 100 megahertz, here we go. Now, in these situations, you need to look very closely, particularly on the RF side, about what sort of aerial this set's going to have. Now in this case, there are aerials on the back of the unit, on the back here. So I'm going to put it back together with the back on, and hopefully it'll work okay with the back on, which is, you know, the radio has to work with the back on, because in somebody's house you can't have a radio without a back, can you? Especially not these days, you know. But yeah, actually a friend of mine next door, Norman, he had an old radio back in the day, and it failed every day, every Christmas day without fail, during the King's speech. Now, people have come up with all ways to explain it, but I think that what happened was the set in question was probably used every day, and certain components had a certain length of time, a certain life, and that was about a year with the way the set was being used. So that year came up, and things went pear-shaped during the King's speech every year without fail. So that's what that is. Anyway, I'll put the back on this, and we'll try it with its own internal dipole aerial. I might actually decide to put the external aerial on for the AM, but the FM it should work with its own internal aerial. So give me a sec. Right, and here's the radio back together again, and
that he's had, but I just feel it's not disappointing. I don't
that's
really care.
medium wave, not much on there now.
I just think you've got the.
Long way it goes.
And that popularity is in the popular consciousness.
That is FM, which is,
so up until
and it's all internal aerial. There are sockets for external aerials on this, but I think this one needs, quite frankly. I think one or two other valves are slightly lower in emission, but as a radio for general use, it's probably okay. Well, there you are. It's a working radio again after being bought for £1 at BBWS and had 2 valves replaced and been realigned, and of course a couple of SC2 as well. Yeah, these sort of sets, they're much of a muchness, they really are. The IFs, of course, round about 470, 460 around there. IF, apart from 1 or 2 cases, bus I'm looking at you here, so the very early bus sets, always 10.7 megs, okay? So they all work in the same sort of a way. So with that in mind, I'm going to go now and give it a clean and put it somewhere in the house. So Steve at Steve Pedalby's Long Stay Vintage Workshop, bye bye, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.